Amazing parenting. We empower parents to positively impact their children.
Hello parents, Grace here with Amazing Parenting. How are we today? How are you? How's your children? I'm sure your parenting journey is going smoothly. And if it's not, no problem. On this channel, we have over 200 videos to help you on your parenting journey. Tips, tools, ideas, strategies to help you along your journey. So go ahead and check all the videos out. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment below and give us a thumbs up. And most importantly, share these videos. There's parents out there who are crying out for this kind of content. But unless we share these videos, they're not going to know that we're here to help them. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about and going into how do we help our children nurture empathy. I don't know about you, but over the years I've noticed, certain children, some children being really, really mean. I'm not talking about just, nursery, childish kind of behavior, but just mean. They have no empathy for somebody else. They have no empathy for a fellow human being. But why is that? Where does that come from? We as mum, we as dad, we have to teach our children empathy. So we're going to look at 10 different areas we can teach our children or help our children nurture empathy. We'll look at 5 now and 5 at another time. Okay, let's get straight into it. How do we nurture empathy in our children? We model empathy daily. So we as mum, we as dad, we model it, we show it. Even if your child is very young, 2 years old, you hold the dolly gently and rock Teddy, stroke Teddy, be nice. If you have pets, be nice to your pet, stroke your pet, feed your pet, look after your pet. Let your child see you nice to their other parent. Treat their other parent nice. So if you're mum, you're treating dad nice. If you're dad, you're treating mum nice. You treat their siblings nicely. They fall over, you clean their knee. These simple signs of empathy goes a long way for your child's life. If a parent is constantly harsh on their child, not showing their child any empathy, it's very possible that child will grow up and continue that kind of behavior that they received when they were growing up. So teach empathy daily to your child in simple ways. It doesn't have to be, you're going out and you're, walking down the street and you're feeding the homeless, which is great if you can do that. But simple things you can do in your home that teach your child empathy. So we model empathy daily. Help your child name their feelings. Let them know that I understand that you was upset about that. I hear you. I know why you was upset about that. And cuddle them. Talk to them about it. Let them know that, okay, yeah, you was angry at that. You did that something wrong. You may still tell them off. You may still correct them. But you do it in love. You do it nicely. You do it with compassion. You do it with that empathy. You show them. So when their sibling does something to them, they can show empathy. They can show compassion. They might not do it every single time, but because you do it daily, they begin to do it. And then they take that out of their home and they do it at school. They do it in the community. They do it at church. They do it at work. It continues. It has a ripple effect when we teach our children empathy. Number 3, validate emotions before correcting them. Validate their emotions before you correct them. Sometimes we see our children do something and we want to just jump on and tell them off and put them on the naughty step or however it is you correct your child without understanding what led up to your child throwing their toy. What led up to that? What was the trigger for that? And by us taking time to find out why our child is annoyed, why our child is frustrated, it shows them empathy. It shows that we are being compassionate towards them. Not towards the behavior, but towards them. And as parents, we need to understand we have to separate our child from their behavior. They're two separate things. So we are compassionate. We show empathy towards the child, but we still correct. We still discipline. We still tell them off. But we understand first. We do it that way round. We understand first and then you correct. A lot of the time we want to correct first. We don't want to hear what happened, why you hit your sister, why you kick your brother. We don't want to know any of it. We just want to correct straight away. Whereas if we take a moment to understand, so what happened? What led to you doing that? Then we can still correct afterwards. But when we've shown compassion and understanding, we too are teaching them, we're nurturing that compassion in them as well, that they then too will do it forward for somebody else. So it's important that we validate their emotions before we correct, not the other way around. Okay, let's look at encouraging perspective and talk. So we talk about, we give scenarios, we talk about what is it that happened. So like we said before, they've hit their sibling. Talk about what's happened. Have a conversation. Help your child see the perspective from the other person. The child was angry and hit their brother. Help your child understand what it's like for your brother. What's the perspective like for your brother? So when you put your child, you allow your child to put their feet in another person's shoes, you're teaching them how to be compassionate. You're teaching them how to understand how somebody else understands something, how somebody else will feel if that thing was done to them. These are all very simple things that we sometimes gloss over, but we are teaching our children to be compassionate, to be a compassionate human being, that when they see wrong, they don't join in. Even if they can't do anything about the wrong, they walk away, they leave it, or they report it. We have to teach our children that compassion, teach our children to look at things from a different perspective, from somebody else's perspective. What would it feel like if that happened to you? It then helps them to be compassionate, helps them to be sorry for the other person. Teaches that compassion. And then lastly, use stories, books, and movies. So you might sit down and watch a movie with your child. Talk about the movie at the end. What did you get out of that? What was the moral of that movie? What did you learn? When you saw that woman, running, she lost her shoe because how do you think she felt? What would you have done in that position? So we can use stories and books and our own lives to get our children to think about being compassionate. They're having that warm heart towards another human being. So let's leave it there for now, but let's think about what we can do, what we can say to ensure our children are compassionate towards other human beings. So remember, all parents can be great parents. It's a journey and we will get there. Thank you and God bless.
Amazing parenting. We empower parents to positively impact their children.